I've been through a lot of situations where I felt lonely, I was in despair, but at the same time, I was in the mountain actually. I was looking to the stars, looking to the moon. I was praying, and something came to my heart. This is one of the lessons that I've been sharing a lot. God is bigger than every problems that you might have. Believe me, in this life, we're gonna go through a lot of things. We're gonna have a lot of weight on our shoulders, but we need to understand that we need to trust God to give us the directions, to give us the guidance, to give us the strength that we need.
Aderito,
Hola, Jean.
welcome. I'm so excited to hear about your story.
I'm glad. I'm glad that I'm here, and I really look forward to share everything that God did for me and for my family.
So take us away. Where does it begin?
I mean, I believe beginning a day that I was born, because well, that's really tough, but I'm really glad to share with you, because the day I was born, it was the most important day of my life, but at the same time, it was very difficult because the same day I lost my mom. She died. Um, the doctor said that she had to make a decision. Either she abortion me or she dies and let me live. So you can see that she made a decision. So um, I mean, I can say it was really tough because it wasn't, because God allowed me to have a beautiful family, very supportive. That I really didn't feel that much of that pain because I already have people around me that support me a lot of times. But as an individual, I can tell that it was a little rough for me to understand the reasons why that happened. And at some point, I might have be a little mad with God. Because my mama was a Christian. She was Jehovah testimony. So she wasn't allowed to take blood, you know, and that's the main reason that she died, because she need blood, because she lost a lot of blood in the birth moment, and she didn't take it, and we end up to that situation when she had to make that decision. So it was very complicated to me to understand certain things. And even though I was aware of a lot of things, I didn't share them much with people. I always have this connection with God where I usually ask him about things. I share with him my frustrations. He always was my best friend, to be honest. So a lot of things that I've been through, a lot of situations, a lot of battles that I had, it was all in my mind. Nobody knew. Nobody knew. The fact is, nobody knew that I knew that I didn't live in with my actually parents, but I already knew it. I mean, I was a smart kid. Regardless the difference in the last name, even though we were a family, but have difference on the last name. I always felt. I mean, I always knew. I don't know how, but I just knew that I wasn't their child for real. Like I always knew, but I mean, I was glad that they took me because everything happened in God's will most of the time. So I respect that. I don't know where did I took their this mentality, this, I don't know, but it is what it is. And so it was very interesting, my growing process. because of these situations, I have to battle with this thing on my mind in the situation where you feel like you are not the real son. You're not. I mean, you're not the real son. The situation that happened to you, but from some reason, I always felt like I was strong enough to deal with this situation, and I can't open my heart to say this. Like, even though when I was a little boy, I say to God, thank you that this situation happened to me. So it didn't need it to, or it didn't help happen to another person. Cause this person, I mean, they probably wouldn't take it. I mean, in the same way that I'm taking, cause even though I'm happy, I'm grateful for everything, and it's a little of this. But God has been in my life since the beginning. Thank God for this. All my family always was very attached to relationship with God, with religions. So I grew up in a household where we believe in Jesus. Every Sunday we went to church. We have this community. And the most beautiful thing that I appreciate God for doing it is to by create the family. Because without this, I wouldn't be here, to be honest. And I really don't know how the things would go if I didn't have the family that I have. So I appreciate God for putting me in this family. You know, people always ask me like how I am the way I am, how I'm so persistent in the things that I do, how I don't give up easily, how I do have this kind of mentality. And I have a funny way to answer. It's like it's because I have two dads, even though they aren't gay or something, you know. Because I didn't have I grew up in a lot of houses, you know. So first of all, I grew up in a house where my auntie, my mother's older sister was my mom. Initially, I call her mom. She's my mom. Rose, I love you, you know. And after I finished the high school, I have to move out to live with my sister, my big sister. Funny thing is, she's the one who gave me my name. Yeah, I have to move with my sister, and that feeling of not belongs to the household, I mean, came back. It was a little weird, but I I kind of have the skill to deal with it because I deal my whole life, you know. But that bad feeling came to me again, where you feel like you don't belong in that place. You sit with those people at the table. You really don't know how to call them. You don't know, you know. You see like everybody's calling dads and mom. You feel some type of way, like how should I call them? Where when other people is around, you really don't know how to act. Like you don't. I mean, when it's only you guys there, you feel more family than when other people came through. Like you feel like, I mean, they know I'm not their sons, you know, and for some reason I feel some type of way. So that feeling come back again.
So just to just explore this a bit, you were going from place to place, family to family, but you never felt like you fitted in within that fabric of family. You always felt a bit like an outsider.
Yes, yes. I always feel like a outsider sometimes, or most of times. But it was always a battle that I have with myself in my mind. Cause you know, like sometimes what happen if your auntie is mad with you about something that you did, and she's talking to you about this, if you don't have a strong mind, you might thinking like, oh, she acting like this because I'm not their son.
Okay, so you could take it personally for the wrong reasons.
Yes, yes. You need maturity to deal with that. But I mean, you was a child. I was a child, and most of times I deal with this inside of me. I never show a bad a bad reaction about it, but you still with your second thoughts because you don't have the maturity to deal with that. But in the long run, I overcome this situation because I always talk to God about this. I really don't cry that much. I barely cry, but I always talk to God. And even though I've been through to situations where I feel hurt, I'm always thankful. I'll be like, God, I know this is hard, but for some reason it's happened, but I know it's for the best. And I'm very thankful for everything that has happened to me. And I'm thankful for my family. I'm thankful for everybody that always helped me. And that's why always able to move forward. Yeah.
So how did it look like your story? Okay, now you're maturing, you're learning how to move forward from these outsider situations. How does your life look like after you begin maturing from that?
My life look much better, very 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 much better, because I'm more mature now, and I can really understand more the I can really understand more people. Because what happened? I had all these things inside me, right? But I heal myself, not by myself, with God, of course. It helped me to heal myself and to love more. Cause I understood, like, let me stop a little bit. Like, all right. If I feel like they are treating me some type of way because I'm not their sons, or but they still allow me to live with them, or they still show me love, that means that I need to appreciate this better, like very much, because they don't need to do that. You understand? They didn't need to do that. They didn't need to show me love, to protect me, to give me clothes, to give me food. Even though sometimes I felt like, oh, they couldn't give me this if I was their son, but they didn't do it. But they give me a lot of other things. They give me opportunity to go to the school. They pay for my bills, for everything that I need, or most of things that I need. They didn't need to do it, and they did. So this kind of mindset allowed me to grow more and to heal myself, and to appreciate more and to show love. And I'm very glad. I'm very glad that I've been through to these stages, so I could actually realize how much they really did for me. You know, how much they really did for me, and I'm very thankful for everything. That's why I said at the beginning that I'm very thankful to God for creating the family union. It's very beautiful. This is one of the institutions that really can protect us as human beings. It's a group of people that are aligned to one direction, and when they have God, this direction is very good, because it's a direction filled with love, filled with purpose, filled with good actually goals and good habits, and it's very 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 good, very amazing. Thank God for this. Yeah, thank God for this.
Wow. So what I'm seeing here is a beautiful story of where it seems that you were the most broken, losing your mother as a young child, in your birth. It seems like family was broken at the time, but it seems that throughout it all, actually that became your strength of learning how to love by being an outsider in different families. And that process of maturity actually brought you a deeper love and appreciation and gratitude. And through that, you grew. That's really beautiful. How did it look like as this love kept growing? What life experiences did you have after that?
Um, this thing actually make me a better person. To be honest, I actually become a better person. I always was a happy boy. I always like to show love, to smile, but this thing actually make me a better person. Show me, teach me how to appreciate more, and I end up to be that guy that you can trust. You can really count with it to any situation because I have the straight, and people turn up to see that light in me and end up to search every time they need some type of help, some type of directions. And as I was growing, I kind of put that cape on me, and sometimes I feel like I have this obligation of take care of the whole family, you know, because as I said first, and I will repeat, without the family, I wouldn't be here. So if I took care of my family, it's most probably that we can help more people, and it can be an example to another houses to do the same. And maybe we're gonna help and heal more people, you know. That's one of my goals. That's why I work so hard as well, so I can be in the position that I can do more for the whole family. And about this, it's a funny thing because my vision about the family isn't only like the people at my house, 4 or 5 people is in my house. Nah, my vision is more holistic. I look to the whole family, to the cousins that I don't even know. I look to the family as the neighbor. I have this kind of love. You understand me? I have this kind of empathy. I don't really I don't really restrain myself only to the people that deal with me every day. You know, I have this holistic vision because the family for me isn't only the people there always say to me good morning. It's even though that cousin that I don't see in 6 7 years, but I always give him this feeling that if he needs me, he can count on me. He can call me, and he knows that I will help him. You know, that's that's one of the things. But as I was saying, like I was growing up, and before I moved to no after I moved to live with my big sister, um, my dad got sick, and he needs to move to Brazil. And even though in those times where he was very sick, I always feel like, nah, nothing's gonna happen to him. You know, he's a man of God, and God got him. God got my family. Everything is perfect. At that time, my whole family was in a good balance. You know, because my dad was like the patriarchy of the family. He maintained everything in order. You know, every time someone's daughter it was about to get married, my dad was the guy who went to the places and talk and do the arrangements and everything. So he was a really big shot and a really big guy in important of the balance of the family. And he went to Brazil because he was very sick. I remember the day that he died. I was at school. Actually, I was in the high school, and at the afternoon, I was with my friends doing freestyle at the park, and suddenly I felt some type of way. I was like, I don't feel like doing this anymore. And the ring bell, started, and I need to go back to the class. I went to the class, but I didn't feel like getting to the class really. So I stay at stairs, and I was thinking I didn't want to listen music or whatever. Just I didn't have energy for some reason. And suddenly someone's called me. Naturally was my older sister that doesn't live in with me. She called me and she asked me, "Oh, Giovanni, how you doing?" I was like, "I'm doing great. What about you?" "I'm doing great too. Where's the funeral?" I was like, "Funeral? Who die?" And the person was like, "Oh, nobody. I was mistaken because they realized that I didn't know it yet." So I left school. I went home. While I was in taxi, I was overthinking for some reason. I didn't want to do anything. I was just like in one of those days that you don't feel like doing nothing. So I arrived to my street to the condo, and I passed the gates. I say hello to the gardener, to the security guy, and I saw one of the cars of my big sister with a lot of chairs. And one of the things is my family always give a lot of parties. And that day was like on Tuesday or in a Wednesday. And I was like, these guys are about to give a party on a Wednesday? Oh God. I mean, come on. And I was walking through the streets. I was almost in my street. I mean, I was like 50 steps to my street, and I start feeling my heart beating fast for some reason. And soon as I make the corner, I saw my brothers and sisters crying. I saw my more members of my families that I didn't see that often, and I knew what happened. I mean, instantly. And I just went to the stairs, start crying, hug my sisters, hug my brothers, and then I went upstairs to my dad's room and I slept. Um, this memory was very hard for me because, as I said in the beginning, family is very important to me, and this person that just died, he wasn't really my father. I mean, in blood, but he took me. He didn't need to it because he didn't need to it, but he did, and he was a great father. He gave me a lot of great examples of what is a man, how a man should be, what a man should do, and most important, what a man should do for his family, how you should be a man of God, the importance of this. He told me that everything that I know, most of the principles that I show to people, the reason why most of people trust me just by looking me is because of him, you know. And I felt really sad on that day. I asked God why again. I have this culture of ask God a lot of questions. I ask God a lot of questions. I ask God what, why? Because He always was a person that believed in my dreams. Just you to know, even when I was like six or no, 10 or 11, we was living in a neighborhood that didn't have that much of development. And I had this idea. I was crazy about computers. So I have this idea of open a business with computers, cyber cafe. And my father invest the money there. You know, he always trusted me. He always believed in me. Everything that I said that I want to do, he always believed in me. He said, like, son, I mean, you can do it, or invest with something being supportive. So I mean, it was really harsh for me to lose him in that age. You know, it was really. really hard for me. I really miss him. I really miss him. I would love if he could see me at this moment. If if he could like if he could see me, if he could enjoy the things that I've been doing for the family, all the things that I'm building, everything that I said that I would do, and I did, all the accomplishments, because he one of the reasons that I made it. You know, he one of the big reasons that I made it. Cause if he wasn't for him, I don't know, man. I really don't know. I really don't know. Thank God for him on my life. I'm really appreciative for this.
But you surely become a bright young man now that I look at you, even though you've gone through all these things. What has been like the key driving factor that, even in the midst of such hard circumstances, have kept you full of love and bright and shining and a blessing to others? What has been that key driving factor for your journey?
Definitely Jesus. Definitely Jesus, man. Definitely Jesus. This this energy. I mean, you're a guy that don't often deal with me or walk with me. My friends, they are amazed about this. One of my friends, he knew about this story from my brothers, and he cried a lot. And he started thinking like, "Oh God, I often call this dude to share about my problems, and he never said this to me. He never shared with me. I didn't share it not because I don't trust him or something like this, but as I said before, somehow I managed, I learned to deal with my struggles, with my problems, with with God. So I don't feel the need to talk about problems. I mean, often. Um, but this person is just it just shared with me like I don't understand. Like, how can you be that strong? You've been through so much. You've been through so much, and you are the people that often smile, that always always there for other people, always ready to help. You're never in a position where you think the things won't happen. You're always that strong. Like how? And what can I say? It isn't about me. I mean, this energy, this spirit that live in me is the one that gives me the strength to keep going forward. It isn't really me, because when I start, even in last week, I was thinking, I was overthinking, and I was like, God, if it wasn't with me, I wouldn't have this strength. Like, because I'm only able to continue it when I stop and I think like God is with me, and God is bigger than every problems that I may have. Because a lot of times I talk like, oh God, if I don't solve this, I might die, and I didn't. I didn't die because God was there. Even if I didn't solve the situation, God was there, and I survived. So it isn't about me. The strength that people see isn't really mine. All this light the people see me isn't really mine. I'm just a vessel, you know.
It's beautiful and it's very evident. And when I see you shining and expressing with so much joy and light, I can really see it that you're a vessel of, yeah, that beautiful energy and love of Christ. I have a question for you though. Have you always known Christ throughout your whole life, or did you have an encounter, a moment where you really realized that He's the one you want to follow?
Well, I mean, I believe that I always know Christ, because my mama was a strong believer. You can tell by the sacrifice that she made. So since the beginning, I wasn't a normal child as well. You know, I wasn't a normal child. Because she was a strong believer. She actually sacrificed herself for the faith that she had in God. So of course that I know God since beginning. It wasn't something that happened while I was growing. I mean, I know all my life. I can't really tell you the day that I stop and I mean, I can tell you this. I learned more about God while I was growing because of my sisters, and because they were very they were believers too, so they gave me these books, biblical to childs, where I read all the stories. I love those books. I read all the stories, so I was learning more and more and more about God. These habits of reading the Bible and giving studies to preach to other peoples about God. I was doing this since I was little, you know. So I always was connect with this environment where the word of God was spoken
I see.
and living.
I see. I see. So, just for anyone that may be watching and and they're going through really hard situations, they've lost a family member, they've lost a loved one, they're struggling with whatever they may be struggling with. And you, through your life experiences, what are some things you can share with them that can encourage them to keep pressing forward and also be victorious?
All right. I can share a lot of stories. I can share stories about business, corporate work, like, so I can tell you. Um, I'm Angolan, and I came here in last 2 years to study.
Here to Portugal.
Yeah, here. Sorry, I didn't mention. Yeah, I came here to Portugal to study, and the stigma that people have is if you are Angolan or African, where you came to a Arab country, probably the probability to achieve a good work, a good job is very small. Most of people when came here, they need to work to McDonald's or this kind of work. I mean, no judgment, but I had set a goal, and God helped me through all this process. Everything that happened to me is kind of amazing at some third point, but isn't really, because the things that happen, it's funny because God prepares you to the situations. It's like all the experience that I had in the past while I was in school, doing projects, doing entrepreneurial activities, help me to achieve things that I'm getting now. So even through the process, I had God to help me. So sometimes seems like, oh, it was easy. It was easy because it was Him. Nah, God always was there to help me, to give me the guidance, to give me the vision of what I should do, what I should not. But I can tell you this: I've been through a lot of situations where I felt lonely. I was in despair, where I felt like nobody else could help me. When I feel like I could share with anyone because anyone would understand. A lot of situations like that. A lot of situations like that. But at the same time, I was in the mountain actually. I was looking to the stars, looking to the moon. I was praying, and something came to my heart. This is one of the lessons that I've been sharing a lot on last month. The lesson is God is bigger than every problems that you might have. Believe me. I have a sister in the year of COVID that she barely died. Not because of COVID, because she has another issue. She was she almost died. She almost died. And today, when I'm at the living room or when I open my WhatsApp, she do videos every day, smiling, dancing, because she's a very happy person. And I was by myself thinking about the things that this person been through and the position that she is now, happy with, moving on with her life in a different way. And I was thinking like, in this life, we're gonna go through a lot of things, a lot of things. We're gonna have a lot of weight on our shoulders because of our problems, because of the problems that people that we love. But we need to understand that we need to trust God. We need to trust God to give us the directions, to give us the guidance, to give us the strength that we need. Because by ourselves, we really can't do this. I promise you, we really can't do this by ourselves. All the strength that you see, or the way that you see big mans accomplish, isn't because of them. They have a stray behind. They have a light behind, and this light is God. You need to trust God more with the issue that you have, because you might thinking, oh, it's a big problem. There is not. Especially when you sit with another person to listen to their story. You know, it's kind of funny because that's why we really shouldn't compare our stories with other persons to see who suffered more. You know, because in my universe, this thing that I live in, I mean, it was a lot, maybe, but I could see it with some kid that live in Iraq, and if you tell his story, I'm gonna be amazed about the suffering, about no don't about lose their parents to bombs, brothers and sisters don't have water, don't have food, you know. But that happened on his universe. In my universe, the thing was a lot. The thing that I've been through was a lot, and I would be able to been through this and overcome if it wasn't for God, because God showed me really that I need to trust Him more in everything, in everything. That's why on these days I play too much with that. When I even most of things in business world, when I have some projects to do, I always set the bar further. You know, I was like, nah, I can do more. I need more pressure. I can't go handle because I have God, you know. I have a problem. No, God, please, God. I mean, help me with this. Put more pressure, put more problems because I know problems will make me grow faster. And I'm going to go through this and I will win because I have you. Every day I kill a Goliath. That's my mindset. I mean, my life isn't that calm, and I don't like calm's life. And you know, I like everything. Every day I wake up, I have a Goliath to kill. That's my mindset, and I'm gonna win regardless because I have God. You know, how much bigger the problem, it's much bigger the reward. You know, and you if you trust God, you always collect the rewards every day, every single day. And that's what I do. That's what I do.
Thank you so much, Aderito. What an inspiring and beautiful story.
Thank you. Oh.